Welcome back. So this will be the first of a series of lessons on using the animations tools inside of Roblox. In this lesson, we'll just learn how to create and save an animation. Okay. So I have a blank template, and you're going to need a couple of the built-in plugins that Roblox provides. So if you go over here to the plugins menu, there are two that you need. We're going to use the rig builder plugin and the animation editor animations plugin. Okay, so let's start with the build rig. Click on it and you can choose R15 or R6. R6 means that it has 6 body parts. R15 means that it has 15 body parts. So it has elbows, knees, that kind of stuff. Okay, and then you just want to choose, I'm just going to choose an R15 and I'm going to choose a block rig. Okay, and let me turn around. Here he is. Okay, so this is the guy that we will be animating, and you can see he's in the Explorer window. His name is Dummy, and if you open him up, he's got 15 body parts. Okay. All right, the other plugin we'll need is the animation editor. So if you click on that, it will open a window, and it's down here at the bottom, so I can switch between output and animation editor. I'm going to go ahead and switch to animation editor right now. Now it says to select a rig to animate or create a new rig. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Dummy here. And I think you can click on him both here and in the Explorer window. Let me try. Yeah, okay. So you're going to give your animation a name. So I'm going to give my animation, I think I've already made a few of these. Let's make a new name for this. Whoops. I wonder why. There it goes. Okay, so I'm going to call this, jump. My jump animation. Okay, and I hit create. Okay, and now we have a little timeline. So any of you that have used timelines before, these work exactly the same. And if you haven't, it's a really intuitive way to build animations. Okay, so here we have our dummy, the thing, and if you click on this little plus symbol, you can add a new animation track. We can add, we can select a part of the body to animate. So let's go ahead and click the plus sign, and I'm gonna pick his head. Okay, and now you'll see that there's a head entry right here, and it's got position and rotation. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and create a new, what's called a keyframe here. Okay, and so what you do when you're using this timeline is you create keyframes, right? So you say, like, this first one is going to be the starting value. So I'm going to add a keyframe here. So this is where it starts. And this is just kind of the normal position for the dummy. Okay. Now, a little bit later, I'm going to create another keyframe. Let's say at 10 seconds. So I'm going to add a keyframe here. Okay, now this keyframe, I select it by clicking on it, and you can actually move the time as well. So I selected the keyframe by clicking on these little triangles, and I moved the time by clicking up here in the kind of ruler looking area. Okay. All right. So what am I going to do? Well, just to do something simple, I'm just going to click on his head, and you can do this a number of ways. You can click on it, I think, this way. Yeah, and it's in the rotate, so we want to go ahead and go to the move tool. There we go. I'm just going to move his head up. There he goes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make it go back down. So this is going to be a really, really simple animation. So I'm going to copy these keyframes. So you can right click and say copy selected. I'm going to paste them here a little later on at 20 seconds. So I'm going to click right here and paste the keyframes. Okay. Now if I go over to that time in my timeline, you'll see that it looks exactly the same, but what I can do is move the head back to where it started. Okay. Now let's take a look at the keyframe. So if I go here, starting position, I go here, head is up slightly, and if I go here, head has moved back. So let's see what this looks like, right? Let's see what this looks like when it plays. And you'll notice over here, there's a series of play, go back to the beginning, loop. Actually, I want to toggle the loop so you can see it over and over again. And I'm just going to hit play, and you'll see what happens. Let me select off of this, and you'll see what happens with the dummy. Yeah. So the head goes up and down. Very simple. Okay. Let me, okay, now I think I can go all the way back by, there we go. So now we're back to the beginning. Okay. So we have a very, very simple animation. And how do we save this? Like, let's say that we want to save this, because when you're working with animations, you kind of do things in parts. Like the first thing you have to do is create the animation, and then you have to learn how to like play the animation during a game. And then there's things like editing the animation after you've created it, say that you want to change it. And then the last thing that we'll talk about is how to take our animations and use them to replace the standard animations, right? So let's say you wanted to create a unique jump animation, right? You can actually do that. And we can replace the jump animation that comes with Roblox. Okay, so let's see. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and save this, okay? And then we'll come back and work on some more complicated animations. So if we wanted to go ahead and save this, let me turn this off. There's a few ways. So let's see. One is here, there are 3 little dots. Okay, if we click on those, we get some more options. We get save, we get save as, new, we get import, publish to Roblox, create new, and set animation priority. And this set animation priority, this is actually for when you have more than one animation happening at the same time, right? So say that you're walking and you trigger another animation, you have to let Roblox know which one's the most important one, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and save this. Let's save it as a new animation. Okay, save it. And now we have to publish it. So let's go ahead and publish this animation to Roblox, okay? Kind of the same thing as like when you're saving and publishing a game, right? We have to do the same thing here. So we're gonna go ahead and publish to Roblox. And here we go. We can go ahead and give it a name, description, creator, and we go ahead and submit. And you can also overwrite other ones. So let's see, I should have a few in here. Yeah, here's a few animations that I've already made, and you could overwrite these if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna save it as a new one. Okay, so we've got jump, and I hit submit, and it should give us a successfully submitted window. Now here's the important part. Okay, so once you've submitted this to your Roblox account, you can use this in any game, and anybody else can use this in any game. And all they need is this number. This is the number that identifies your animation. And just using that animation, anybody can use this in their game. Okay, now here's the thing. What if you forget? What if you forget what this number is, right? So that you can reuse this animation or share it with someone else. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and I'll show you how you can find that number again. Okay, so close. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to open up, here I have to get out of full screen on this. I'm gonna open up my Roblox account. Okay, I'm gonna go to my Roblox account, and I'm gonna go to the create menu. Okay, now here in the create menu, you've got all this stuff, and usually, you know, we talk about experiences, right? Because these are our games that we make, but you know, you also have models in here that you've made. Here's my models. Here's my models. And although they don't have pictures. Oh, here they go. Some of these have pictures. Yeah, so here's a lot of the models that I've made. I don't think I've made anything else besides that, except for animations. Okay, so if I click on animations, you can see all 6 of the animations that I've made. Okay, and so here's my jump animation that I just made, and it doesn't have an icon yet. I guess it's still uploading. But what you can do is you can go to configure. Let's see what kind of information we have there. Okay, we have jump, the name, you can adjust this stuff, but here's the key point. Here is the number that we need. Okay, so if you ever need a number for your animation, just go into your Roblox account, go into your create section, go to animations, and then I think you can also click on this too. Let me see. Yeah, here it is, and here's the number again. Okay, so a couple of different ways to get that number. Okay, and that's the number we're going to need in future lessons when we go and actually use this animation and play it in our games, or use an animation to replace a default animation that Roblox has. Okay, so, and there's actually one more way to get the number. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say we're done, right? We've already made this animation and we're done for the day, and we come back later. So let me go ahead and delete this. Okay, so I'm going to close my animation editor. Let me see if I can do that without closing my output window. Yeah, and I'm going to delete this dummy. Okay, this dummy is gone. All right, so this is basically, let's say I was starting a new game, and what I want to do is I want to bring an animation that I worked on previously, and I want to edit it. Well, I can just go to the same thing we just did. I would bring in a rig, R15 block rig, and then I would add the animation editor, and I would click on my rig. This time I'll click on it here in the game window. Yeah, okay. And okay, this says create. I'm gonna go ahead and just create it. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to import my previous animation. So I'm gonna get it from Roblox. And here's mine. Here's basically my toolbox, right? These are the animations that I've created. And here's the one that I just made. Now, here's what's gonna happen here. When you click on it, it gives you the number for that animation. So if you click on any of these, it'll give you the number for that animation. Okay, so if you ever need it, you can always just do this. This is another way to get the number for your animation. Okay, and like I said, these are unique, right? So only your animation has this particular number. That's why you can share it with other people, or if you want to use an animation that other people have made, you can also do that. And here's the thing, if you go into your toolbox, let me just show you real quick. If you go into your toolbox, there's actually a ton of animations that have already been made. And unfortunately, I guess it's under models. Let me see. I forget how I found it last time. Let me just type in animation. Yeah, here we go. And so they look like this. They look like these little script things. Okay, and some of them have yeah, so let's just see what this says. Let's see. We have a shift to run animation, R6 custom walk. And again, be careful when you're getting these, but let's just look and see. This model includes scripts. And it probably has the number in there as well. We'll probably work on that in a future video. Okay, but this is another source if you want to get some animations from other people, because to be honest, making really good looking realistic animations is an art, and it takes quite a bit of practice. Okay, but what we've done is we've imported the previous animation, and we can check to make sure that it still works. So if I hit the play button, there it goes. It still works. Okay. Now, let's say that I wanted to change this, right? Because right now, all that my animation is doing is moving his head. Okay. So let's say that I wanted to also, I don't know, wave his arm. Okay. Let's add something else. Let's add another track here, and let's start at the beginning. Yeah, let's go back to the beginning and click on this. Okay, and now let's add a new animation track. We have to pick which body part, and you can actually add them all, right? Like if you wanted this whole thing to move, you could add all 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I counted 15 body parts here. Okay, but let's move his right upper arm. Let's see if we can just do that one. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to select, and I don't know, let me see if I can select it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, if you click on it here, it actually lets you select that right upper arm. So now let's say that I wanted to rotate that right upper arm, but I'm actually not going to do it until this keyframe. I want this first keyframe to just be kind of the starting position. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, click on these little triangles, these keyframes, and this is still selected. My right upper arm is still selected. So let's try the rotate button. There we go. And I'm just going to rotate this arm out. There it goes. Okay, And now that should, let me just check. That should just change that one, but it might change the next one too. Let's go. It does. Okay. So then we need to rotate it back for the next keyframe. Okay. So I'm going to rotate it back. Okay. Now let's check everything. Hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, great. Now let's let me go ahead and play it, and you can see what my changes look like. So now, okay, so now his head goes up, and his arm rotates out to the side. And I can already tell you, I am not the world's best animator, definitely. So my animations are going to be very simple. Like I said, if you really want to get good at this, you need to spend a lot of time practicing. And they're actually, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun playing around with this, but my animation skills are not the best yet. Okay, so this was going to be a jump animation, right? So let's go ahead and make it kind of look like a jump animation. So let's see, this is going to be done on the fly. So let's see if I can do this. So we're starting here, and let's say I wanted to erase these, right? How would I get rid of this so I can start over? Well, let's see. If I click here, actually, let me see if I can erase this. Yeah, I can delete the track. So let's say I don't want to move his arm anymore. It's gone. Okay, now I just have his head, and actually, I wonder if I can just delete the head here to start over. Let's see. Oh, well, let's try deleting just a specific keyframe. So let's say that I wanted to delete this one. Okay. If I right click, I get some options, and I can delete this this set of keyframes. So let's go ahead and delete it. Awesome. Great. Okay. And let's say I want to delete this one too. Oh, and you know what? This is actually what I wanted to see if there was. Okay, so there's a reset on this. Let's see what that does. So before, this is what it looked like. It looked like this, right? But if I click on the reset, it takes me back to, I guess, the starting place. Okay, good. So this is my first animation. Oh, and I did want to show you one more thing. So right now, this animation has a length of 1. And if you want more space on here, you can just click on this and change it to a bigger number. So let's say I want to change it to 2. There we go. Now I have a bigger timeline that goes from 0 all the way to 2. Okay. All right, so I'm here at 10 seconds on my timeline. And let's say for my jump, again, this is going to be a very simple jump. Let me get rid of this one as well. Okay. Oh, actually, let me go ahead and create a new... Oh, I guess I need all of the body parts. Let me see what happens if I add them all. Ah, there we go. Okay, now I have all the body parts available to animate. Okay, and oh, and this is great because it actually groups them together. You can see, watch. Let me click some of these. Yeah, so you have the lower torso, which has both of the legs. Let me go down. Let me scroll down. You have the upper torso here that includes the head, the arms, and the, oh, I wonder where the core is. Let me see, hold on. Oh, huh. There's actually a center part here. I guess that's not added when I do this. Or at least I can't see it on this list here. Let me see if it shows up on... Okay, let me undo that. Let me do Control Z. I guess I have to do it a number of times. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, so if I hit the plus sign, I have upper torso, lower torso. Let me see what upper torso does. If I click on it, it is... Oh, it is that. Okay. So the upper torso is just this kind of chest area. And let me get rid of that. And if I do plus and I do lower torso, where is it? Oh, I see what it is. This is just going to be the, hold on, let me click on it. Oh yeah, and this is just kind of the waist area. So when you add them all, it actually groups everything together. The upper torso includes all of the upper arm, lower arm, hand, and the head, and the lower torso includes the upper leg, lower leg, and foot. Okay, so let me go ahead and get rid of this. All right, so what do I want to do? Well, for my jump animation, I'm actually going to move, I'm going to try to move as many parts as I can. So let's go ahead and add everything. So I'm going to add all. Okay. And then I want to add a keyframe here. Okay. And this is just my starting position. Now I'm going to go to, 10 seconds. And I'm going to add another keyframe here. Okay, now I can change anything that I want here. And I think I can click more than one thing. Let me see. So if I click lower torso, or actually let's go to upper torso. If I click upper torso, here we go. And let me see what happens if I move the upper torso, because my guess is that it's going to take everything that's attached to it. So let's see. So if I move the upper torso up, yeah, it does. It takes everything that's connected to the upper torso, which is head, arms. Okay. And let me undo that. Let me see if I do Control Z. Yeah, it moves it back. Now let's say that I select, let's select the lower torso. And let's say that I spin that. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I want to spin the lower torso, and it should spin everything that's connected. So the waist, arms, and waist, legs, and feet. Let's see. Oh, actually, it spun everything. I wonder if that just is with the rotate thing. Hold on. So let me go ahead and select upper torso again. Let me try that. Let me see. I bet you that's going to spin everything again. Oh no, look. Okay, so if you spin the upper torso, it only rotates that part, the parts that are attached. But if you rotate the lower torso, it rotates everything. Okay, good to know. What if I move it? Let me see. So we're kind of like learning what each of these does, right? So if I move the lower torso, it does move everything. And I can do Control Z to get back. Okay, so upper torso, you move just the top half, but lower torso, you move everything, okay? Or move and rotate everything. All right, so let's see. So in my jump animation, my very simple jump animation, what do I want to do? Well, let's see. To start with, I'd probably move his arms. So let me rotate his arms out. That would be the first step. Okay, so I'm going to pick his, let's see, let's go here. Let's go to left upper arm. Okay, I'm going to rotate that one out. Maybe there. That looks good. Okay, and I'm going to rotate the right upper arm also. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to do with this first set of keyframes. All he's doing is his arms are going out. And if I click here at the beginning and I click play, you'll see that the arms move out. There we go. Okay, so he's getting ready to jump, right? And you know, if you were doing this and trying to get a really realistic jump effect, you'd probably want to go and look at some videos of what it looks like when a person jumps and try to copy that. But mine isn't going to be that realistic. Okay, so first thing is his arms go up. Okay, now what I want to do, let's say I want to make him move forward as well, right? So like when he's about to jump, let's say that his torso moves forward because he's about to go up. Okay, so I want to choose his upper torso here, and I'm probably going to make a new keyframe. So let's go ahead and copy this one. So I'm going to copy, whoops. Oh, there we go. I have to select them. So you left click first to select those keyframes. So left click, you have to click on the little triangles, on the little diamonds. And then you can right click and say copy selected. Okay. Now I'm going to go to 20 seconds and I'm going to paste them there, paste keyframes. And that should be exactly the same. So when it goes through here, it should do it twice. Let's see. Yep. Okay, good, good. Okay, now on this one, I want to rotate his torso forward a little bit. Okay. So let me see. Let me go to his upper torso. Here we go. And I'm going to rotate it forward a little bit because he's about to jump. Yeah, this is not going to look professional. But anyway, actually, that's probably too much. And you know what you can do? You can actually go into your model and change how much or you can turn off the snap to grid entirely. I like the snap to grid, but this is a little bit too much. So I'm going to make it, 15 degrees. That'll be better. Okay. Actually, I'll leave this open because I might need this again. All right, so I'm just going to make him go forward just a little bit. That's better. Okay. So he's going forward a little bit. And really, if he was about to jump, you can imagine his knees would bend a little bit, but I'm not going to get that fancy. Okay. So now he's gone forward a little bit on this keyframe. And we're going to go ahead and copy these and move it to the next keyframe. So I'm going to copy and move to 30 seconds, which is, I think about, That's weird because it goes from 30 all the way to 1 and then it goes. So these must not be, well, I don't know what the time scale here is. But anyway, I'm just going to go over to where 30 would be, which would be about right here, I think. Let's see. It's not quite right, but it's okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paste my keyframes. Oh, I forgot to copy them. Copy selected. And then I'm going to click here and paste keyframes. All right, let's make sure everything's working, okay? When you're doing this again, you want to just make sure that your animation looks good. So here, let's see what it looks like. Hey, you know what? That doesn't look terrible. Okay, so now he's going to hop a little bit on this keyframe. So I want to select everything. So let's see, how would I select everything? I guess you could go through here. Oh, you know what? Duh, I can just select his lower torso. Yeah, and if I move that, it's going to move the entire thing. So I'm going to click on the move button. I'm going to move him up a little bit. That's probably high enough. Okay, that looks good. Let's test it and see if it looks good. Let's say play. Like I said, maybe not the most realistic jump animation ever, but it works. Let's see. So now what would he do? Yeah, I'm going to keep this simple. Okay, so now he goes up, and now I'm just going to make him go down. Okay, so I'm going to move over. I'm going to copy these keyframes. Copy. I'm going to move over to 110. And I'm going to paste them there. Okay, now I'm going to move him back down. And it's kind of hard to tell where he should be. Let me see. I wonder if there's a measure for, oh yeah, duh. Okay. So if I go back to before he jumped, I can actually see what the position was of his lower torso. Yeah, so it was 0, 0, 0. Okay, good. So if you click that, you can see the position and the rotation. And then if I go to the place where I want to move back down, because here he's up and here I want him to go back down. So I'm going to go ahead and click on these and check what the lower torso position is. Oh, and you can see here's the Y, it's up to 1.5. So I'm just going to move it because I'm moving by 0.5 here. I'm going to move him down 3 studs. So 1, 2, 3. And now you can see his position is 0 again. Okay, so this is really useful because this lets you know what the values are so you can find your starting position again. Okay, and let's just finish up this really simple animation. He's going to lean back. So let's copy this and paste it at 120. I'm trying to keep these evenly spaced just to make it neat. So paste keyframes. Okay, and I'm going to select them by clicking on them. And now what I want to do is I want to rotate his body back. So I'm going to choose his upper torso. And I think, let me see. Yeah, and look, it tells me the rotation is X minus 15. So I'm going to rotate him back until that's 0 again. Oh, and you know what? Oh yeah, and it should just be 1. There it goes. And now rotation is 0. Okay, great. Now I'm going to copy this again. Click on them, copy. And my last one takes his arms back down. So I'm going to go back to 130, which for some reason is 2. The last one. And I will paste keyframes. And then I'm going to rotate his arms back into position. So make sure you select these little diamonds. And let's rotate his arms back into position. So I think, let me see if I can just select them here. Because what I've been doing is selecting the arms over here, which you can do, but I think you can also just click here. Let's see. Looks like it. Let me try it. You can always undo this if it doesn't work. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That looks good. And let's check. Let's check and see if I can't even, I don't know if this is left or right. Let's check. Oh, it's not. So this is his right arm. Oh, okay. So whenever you see left and right, it's the dummies left and right. Okay. So I did that one. And since I picked the left upper arm, let me go to the right upper arm. And you can see, oh wait, no. Left upper arm is the one that I want to choose because that's the one that's still at an angle. So choose it and rotate it back into position. And it's done. Okay, so my little guy has completed his very simple jump animation. Okay, so let's go ahead and play it from the beginning. And you can see what it looks like. And let me give you a little bit of an angle. All right, here he goes. Okay, like again, not the fanciest or most realistic animation ever, but it works. So now that we've changed and improved slightly our animation, what do? Well, don't forget you have to save this and publish it, right? So let's go to the 3 little dots and we will save as, actually, I think just save since we've already saved it, and then publish to Roblox. And it should, oh, here we go, publish, submit. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, I forgot to save this as my jump animation. Okay, so save as imported animation clip. Oh, there we go. Yes, so I want to save it over the imported animation clip. Yes. Okay, now I want to publish it. Publish to Roblox. And oh, I guess I want to overwrite an existing asset. Okay. There we go. Okay, now this should be saved. And it's unfortunate that there's no way to preview these, right? Like if you go to your Roblox account, it'd be nice if you could click on them and see a little animation preview. But I haven't found that yet. Okay, so hopefully this is all good. But let's make sure, right? So let's go ahead and start over and import it and make sure that everything got saved. So I'm going to go ahead and close the animation window. I'm going to delete this dummy. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before, right? So I'm going to go to the plugins, get my rig builder, block rig, click on it with my animation editor. And I'm going to import. So I just create this thing and I'm going to import my animation. Import from Roblox. We're just checking to see that it got saved. Submit. And there it is. Okay, and if I push play, it should be my just recently updated animation. There it goes. Okay, it worked. So we've done a couple of things in this first video. We've started to get used to the timeline and how you import a rig, start up your animation editor, and then start to build keyframes, which will make up your animation. Okay, and so this is kind of the way animation tools all work, because it would be a lot of work if you had to, a lot of effort, if you had to go through and make every little tiny movement for this animation, right? But what they do is they let you kind of just pick the in-between frames, and that's why they call them, this is called tweening, because it's in between. So you only pick like the major places where your animation changes, right? So from here to here was where my arms went out, right? So I just have to put the beginning position and the ending position of my arms, and Roblox takes care of the rest, okay? And this is the way all animation tools work. It's just the most logical way for this to work. And so we learned a little bit about the tool. We learned how to save our animation, how to find the number that is unique to each of our animations. And we learned how to reload the animation to edit that animation, save it again, publish it again, just to make sure that you know, we can do these first few parts. So in the other videos, what we're going to do is, because right now I don't even think, let me see if it even plays. Hold on, let me see. Let me turn on the loop and let me see if this even plays. I don't think this even plays if I do this. Let's check. It might play. No, it doesn't. he just stands there. That's okay. So there's really no way, unfortunately, to use animations without code. Okay, and this is kind of why we have this sequence of lessons at the end after we've learned a little bit of coding, because there's just no other way to use animations. And so in the next lesson, we'll learn how to attach or import this animation into our games and how to trigger it to play. And there's a bunch of different ways, and we'll learn a couple. Okay, and then after that, we'll learn how to replace some of the default animations that come with Roblox, and we'll actually use this jump animation that I just made to replace the default jump animation. Okay, so I'll see you then.